considered as the Jews?
White folks.
You said white folks? What do you think? Who is considered? Right. Who is considered as the Jews? The so-called white men don't like the truth coming out. They don't like truth coming out. The truth is, you are God's chosen. You are the Jews of God. They took our identity, they took who we are, and they claimed it for themselves because they know to be God's chosen means everything on this earth.
And I know the blasphemy.
You know what?
The blasphemy.
Blasphemy means wicked, evil lies. Read.
Of them which say they are Jews.
He knows the lies of them which say they are born.
And are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
Who are they in church of?
The synagogue of Satan.
What I'm proving right now is that we are God's chosen people. And by the curses is the sign that show it. Every curse I read only applies to the Black, Hispanic, and Native American men. It don't apply to nobody else. That's how we know we're the Israelites. Today, on the planet, who is considered as the Jews?
White folks.
You said white folks? What do you think? Who is considered? Right. Who is considered as the Jews? As the Jews on earth today? You know? You know?
You should have let me know you didn't know how to
The
work.
Jewish people, right? The ones that wear the coats and the hats with the little curly cues, right?
They ponytails.
The part, all of that, right? The ones who run the diamond district, the ones who run the record industry, the ones that run the movie industry, the ones that run the world, right? The ones that's over there killing the people over there in Palestine, all of that.
So when
Right? They're the ones who consider the Jew. Right. Now, what are we considered? Who are we? What's your nationality? What's your race?
They call me African American.
They call you African American. So, African American, that name alone doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. Because Africa was named after a man named Leo Scipios Africanus. That's a white man who conquered Africa during the Punic Wars. Right? And then America. American is another white man named Amerigo Vespucci. So how are we African American? Does that make any sense? They wipe out everything. Do you know the year we was coined African Americans? Do you know? My bro right here to Columbia, do you know what year we was coined African Americans? You do not. Do you know? Does it even matter?
No.
It does. The fact that we was called African Americans in around 1985, that term was coined to tell us who we are. So, reason why it matters, because before that, what was our nationality? Before we was called African American, what was we called? How about black? How about Negro? How about color? How about nigga? Jiggable, right? So how come our nationality changed, but nobody else's nationality changed? Because we're the true people. Right? Read that one more time and then we're going to go to Deuteronomy. I'm going to show y'all something real quick. I want y'all to pay attention. Watch this. Y'all read that one more time. I'm going to read that one more time before we go and tell you exactly what the truth is. Watch this. John chapter 8, verse 32. Check this out. One more time. Here we go.
This is the book of John, chapter 8, verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Right. So how the truth going to make you free? Because you're going to understand what it really means to walk in Christ. You're going to understand. Now watch this. Go to Deuteronomy 28. I'm going to show y'all something. Because history has been hidden from the black man. Your true history has been hidden from you. I'm going to ask this question. How many generations can you go back? How many generations can you go back? 2, 3 at the most? That's a curse, y'all. That's not normal. The white man can go back his family history all the way back to the Renaissance era. The Chinese man can go back to the Hongshong dynasty or whatever. But we can go back to maybe grandma, maybe great-grandma. That's it. That's a curse. The reason why we can't go back that far is due to slavery, due to the transatlantic slave trade. We were sold amongst the whole earth. We were sold everywhere. And our names was changed. Families were separated. We were turned into breeders. Our women was given as gifts. All these things happened. But they hide their history from you. Watch this. Read that.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15.
Come on.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not.
Start at 1 and 1. I want to get context. Read that.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 1.
Here's the context.
These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side of Jordan in the wilderness.
So who was Moses speaking to in the book of Deuteronomy? Read it again.
Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side of Jordan in the wilderness.
So who was Moses speaking to? Say the name. What nation? Israel. He was speaking to the Israelites, right? Now go to the 28th chapter in the same book. Start at verse 1. Watch. Context is Moses speaking to Israel after he came down from the mountain with the law, with the tablets. Y'all know that. Y'all seen 10 Commandments, right? Read that.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1.
Watch.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt not hearken, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments,
Read.
which I command thee this day,
Come on.
that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations on the earth.
So the Most High God told the nation of Israel, if you follow my commandments, I will make you the top nation on the planet. Meaning what? You make the rules. Everybody pays you taxes. You're the rich. They're the poor. You give out the loans. You don't go get loans. You give them out. Right? That is a ruling nation. Now, when you look on the earth today, is the black people a ruling nation? Are they the top nation? No? No. It's evident, right? We get denied loans, let alone get them. Right? So we need them, but we can't get them. That's a curse of God. Now let's go to verse 15. Watch this.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15.
Here's the flip side to that contract. Watch.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day,
Read.
that all these curses,
All these what?
all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So God told the Israelites this. He said, look, I saved y'all from out of Egypt. I took y'all from slavery out of Egypt under Pharaoh. I rescued y'all. I brought y'all to a land. I'm bringing y'all to a land filled with milk and honey. Here's my stipulations. You keep my laws, you're the top nation on the planet. Right? Boom. You don't keep my laws, I'm a curse you. Now, you look on the planet today. If there's any people on planet Earth that is cursed, who is it? You feel me? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Together, those three people makes the nation of Israel today. How do we know? Due to the curses that was put on the nation of Israel. Now, what we're going to read why the curses was put on them. It wasn't just because we failed to keep God's commandments, because that's one. That's the number one reason. But there's a second reason. Go to verse 45, same chapter. Listen close. What I'm doing right now is it's very important that y'all listen to this. Because what's happening is you're learning who you really are. You're learning the truth that the white man spent billions to hide from you. This is what you learn. Watch this.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 45.
Stay close.
Moreover, all these curses,
All these curses
shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee, and they shall be...
Okay, so the context is the curses will be upon us, and they will pursue us. Meaning no matter where you go in the world, the black man will be perceived as a slave, as lesser than. Let's say, for instance, you go to, I don't know, Iraq, Yemen. The so-called Arab man calls you an akata. You know what akata means? Akata means? It means slave. That's what they refer to you as, naturally. And in some places like Yemen, black folk is still slaves. They still got chains and they still are in slavery to this day. You go to China, you consider a lowlife. You go to Japan, you consider a lowlife. It don't matter where you go, you consider lowlifes. Why? Because of the curses of God, bro. We're not keeping the commandments of God. So that's one of the main reasons, right? Now read on.
Verse 46.
Come on.
And they shall come upon thee
The curses is going to come upon us.
for a sign.
For what?
For a sign.
For a what?
For a sign.
So the curses is going to come upon us for a sign. Now I got to ask the question. What is the functionality of a sign? Who got the answer? What is the functionality of a sign? And it's not complicated.
Make you aware.
Make you aware. I like that.
That's on point.
I like that. But that's definitely it. Anybody else got anything want to add? Huh? Transition, okay. Instruction, all right. Instruction, that's good. So, how do we know that we're on graduate? Because it's a sign. How do we know that that's my party routine? Because it's a sign. So how do we know who the children of Israel is today? Because there are signs. The signs are the curses. The curses is going to tell you who the Israelites will be today. Why? Hold that, get Jeremiah. Why would the curses be needed to tell you who the Israelites will be today? Right. Because something will happen to them. Think about it, man. It's a reason why we walk around. I can ask everybody what's their nationality, and I can get 11 different answers. I done heard Asiatic. I done heard the first man. I done heard black, African American. I done heard nigga. I done heard everything. Everything you can think of. Why is that? Because we don't have an identity right now. It was stripped from us. It was taken from us. That's why we don't know who we are. Read that. 17:4. Yeah. Read that.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4.
Come on.
And thou, even thyself.
God is talking to the Israelites. He said, you, my people, even yourself, come on,
Shall discontinue from thine heritage.
shall what?
Shall discontinue from thine heritage.
God told the Israelites that eventually I'm going to discontinue you from your heritage. Like for instance, let me ask y'all this. What holidays do you celebrate? What holidays do you celebrate? Come on. Christmas. Give me a holiday you celebrate. You don't celebrate. What you celebrate?
From my family, they like
Birthdays.
I don't know the birthday.
No birthdays? Halloween?
On my wife's day, they like.
But you do it though. You partake. So if it's Sunday, if it's Christmas dinner, you in there eating. So if you Christmas dinner, you in
I
there
want to
eating.
be here, but I'm hungry.
But you hungry. All right. Boom. So let me ask you this. What holy days is in the Bible? Can you name one? What's that mean?
He said that.
What did you say?
It's like season of but not much of our Christmas time.
Okay, you talk about the Feast of Dedication. What about you? What you say?
I said the celebration of Christ, but it has no date written. It just says when he was born. That's all it says.
Okay,
That's the only thing.
right.
They
What
don't
you say?
tell you no date. They don't tell you what time. They don't tell you where. So-called tells you where, but it doesn't.
Okay,
You see what I'm saying?
I got you. I got you.
Other than that,
Right. What about you?
You said a holiday?
Yeah, a holiday. That's in the Bible. Holy. It's called Holy Day. That's what holiday comes from. High Holy Day. That's what it's called. Holiday. So what is that?
I don't get all
The Sabbath. The Sabbath is a holy day.
these is whatever you say.
So the Sabbath is definitely a holy day. The Sabbath is the seventh day of the week. On that day, you don't buy, you don't. So I said that for a reason. Go back to Jeremiah. Go back to Jeremiah. I said it for a reason. Let me get my point back. Read.
Jeremiah 17 and 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy heritage.
So we discontinue from our heritage. So who taught you Christmas? Who taught us holidays? Where did we get 4th of July, right? You go out, you fire fireworks in the sky, yay, sparklers, yay, right? 4th of July. Now, when the 4th of July was established, where was the black man? In 1776, where was we? We was in chains. For Christmas. Who do you think the gifts were? We were the gifts. They would gift us to each other, to themselves, as presents, as slaves. So God said he will strip us from who we really are. That's why we are so many different things. We're trying to cling to something. But the one thing that's been sitting on your dresser collecting dust, we ain't looking at it because it hasn't been revealed yet. But now it's being revealed. Now you might be thinking, okay, you said we're the Israelites. Well, how we're the Israelites is due to the signs. Remember we talked about the signs that we read? So God said, I will put these curses on you for a sign. Now, let's read about the signs. Verse 16. Wow.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 16.
Here's the curse right here.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
In the city of Detroit. Right? Because that's where we at. The city of Detroit. What people is cursed in the city of Detroit? Black folk. Let's keep it real, right? You go downtown, it's like an invisible barrier right there. That's called a red line. A red line is an economic line that has this line where on this side of the line the rent 900. On this side of the line the rent 2,700. They do that for a reason. They're putting up a barrier. That's a curse, people. That's a curse. In our schools, do we have the best education? Nope. 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 Do we have the safest neighborhoods? Nope. Do we have the most jobs in the city? Nope. Most people I know work outside of each other. That's a curse. Your car break down, you lost your job, now you gotta steal. Now you gotta live under the law. That's a curse, family. I'm telling you, no other nation deals with this. The Japanese man got his stuff. Chinese man, they get grants when they come over here. The white man, they get grants when they come over here. Every nation get money when they come, except for the ones that actually built this money. That's a curse, y'all. That's a curse. I don't care if you go to Chicago, you go to Atlanta, New York, everywhere it's the same. The black man is struggling. We living in the projects. We living in the ghettos. I said ghetto, that's funny. You know what ghetto means? Anybody know what the word ghetto means? Ghetto means, I'm going to tell you, ghetto means place where the Jews dwell. That's what ghetto means. It means the place where the Jews dwell. So who do they say live in the ghettos? They hide it in plain sight. They hide it in plain sight. They telling you to do the Jews. How many of y'all seen that Clarence movie? Yeah. The Book of Clarence. It was like you seen that? A lot of people take that as a bad thing. They say, oh, blasphemy, blasphemy. No. Everybody that's in that movie is right. That ain't by happenstance. He's telling you the truth. That's why you can't find that movie in the theaters today. That's why that movie was in for only 2-3 weeks and it was out in the theater. Now you gotta watch it on TV because guess what? The white man didn't like that. The so-called white man don't like the truth coming out. They don't like truth coming out. The truth is you are God's chosen. You are the Jews of God. The jewels of God. That's you.
Hey, what's up, bro? You ain't subscribed yet? Look at this guy, man. You ain't right, man. Press the button. Press the button.
Hey, give me that revelation. We in a trick bag, y'all. They took our identity, they took who we are, and they claimed it for themselves because they know to be God's chosen means everything on this earth. That's why. That's why. I'm telling y'all, it's a conspiracy. I'm telling you, billions of dollars is just put into this to keep this money. I'm telling you, watch. That's why it's a media blackout. We everywhere, but yet nowhere. I'm telling you, watch this, read that.
Revelation chapter 2, verse 9.
Watch.
I know thy works and tribulation.
Christ said, I know the works of the real Jews, and I know that y'all are going through tribulations, troubles. Is the so-called Jewish man going through troubles? No. Read.
And poverty.
Is he broke? Or do he own the diamond industry, the music industry, the movie industry? He owns everything, right? The TV, media. He owns all of it. Is he broke? He's not in poverty. Read.
But thou art rich.
God said, even though you're in poverty, you are rich. How are you rich? Give me that in Romans 11. Romans 11 and 33. Hold that. Yeah, Romans 11 and 33. God said, even though you're in poverty, you are really rich. How are you rich? Watch this. Read. Romans 11 and 33. Come on.
The book of Romans chapter 11, verse 33.
How are we still rich even though we're in poverty? Watch.
Oh, the depth of riches.
Come on.
Both of the wisdom.
Oh, the what?
Of the wisdom. and knowledge of God.
So the reason why Christ said we still rich because he gave us his wisdom. He gave us his knowledge. It's just right now we don't have access because we sleep. Because we've been put in shackles, mental shackles, spiritual shackles. We are locked up. Now let's go back. Read what you got from the top.
Revelation chapter 2 verse 9.
Now we're talking about the fake Jews. They posing as you. Christ gonna say it. Watch.
I know thy works and tribulation.
Come on.
And poverty.
And poverty.
But thou art rich.
God said we're rich. Why? Because he gave us the commandments. Read.
And I know the blasphemy.
You know the what?
The blasphemy.
Blasphemy means wicked, evil lies. Read.
Of them which say they are
He
Jews.
know the lies of them which say they are Jews. Now, who is proclaimed as Jews on the earth from so-called white men in Israel right now? He said, I know the blasphemy of them that say they're Jews. Read.
And are not.
Come on.
And are not. But are the synagogue of Satan.
Who are they in the church of?
The synagogue of
They're
Satan.
really the church of Satan. You ever heard of Kabbalah? That's the worshiping of the devil. That's from them. That's from them. They worship, they deal with blood, they deal with divinations, they deal with witchcraft. That's them. They don't really serve the Most High God. Read.
Fear none of these things.
He said, God said, don't fear none of that. Read.
Which thou shalt suffer.
Come on.
Behold, the devil shall cast some of you in prison.
Right. Now jump to 3 and 9. I'm going to show you another one. Watch.
Revelation chapter 3 verse 9.
Saying the same thing. Is Most High God, he like to establish things twice. Read.
Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of
He
Satan,
will make them which are of the church of Satan. Come on.
which say they are Jews,
Which say they are Jews,
and are not,
which they are clearly not,
but do lie.
but they lie. Come on.
Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet.
At the end of the day, who remember when Nick Cannon said that we the Jews? Y'all remember that, right? What happened to him? They tried to cancel him. Right? They tried, hey, we shutting down Wildin' Out. We firing you from off that Who's Got Talent show. We shutting you down. Now, his show is back, right? What did he have to do? To get that? Apologize and do what? He had to go and learn from a Jewish rabbi the truth that they are the Jews. So what did he have to do? He had to grovel at their feet to be safe, to have success. Because in this world, which is our verse of God, in order to have riches, you gotta agree. You gotta agree with the world and not with God. So that's what Nick Cannon did. Now read that part again.
Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews,
Come on.
and are not,
Come
but
on.
do lie.
They lie. Read.
Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet.
So God said, I'm gonna turn it around. I'm gonna make them come and worship at your feet. Read.
And to know that I have loved thee.
He said, I'm gonna let you know that I love. Why do God ought to let them know that he loved us? Because does it look like God loves us right now? Think about it. Does it? We live in the slums. It's hard for us to get a paycheck. We got to work all day, every day. Nothing is given to us. And we got bad starts. Single parent households. Our parents went to jail. Our parents wasn't successful, so they only can give you so much knowledge. We already starting back. So does it look like God loves us in comparison? I know he did, but he said he gotta show them that he loves them. Why? Because it may look like to the other nations that God hates us. They say, look at those black niggas. They sit over there, they struggling, they ain't got no money, they begging, they da-da-da-da, they gotta do, right? So
That's just like if my son go with a bunch of other kids.
Yeah.
He acted up. I'm gonna whoop him. I know like they're gonna laugh at. We getting the whooping. He getting chastised. That's mine, and I'm gonna chastise mine.
and that kid gonna grow up and get a job, be successful, go to college.
And that's why my son honor roll straight.
See what I'm saying? And that's it as nations go. As the nations, we look like we are nothing. Because everybody spits on us, they abuse us, they take advantage of us, of the lack of knowledge that we have in this world, the position that we're in. So God said, what? Read that part again.
Revelation chapter 3 verse 9.
Come on.
Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews,
Yep.
and are not.
So God made it clear. They say they Jews, but they not the Jews. He telling you straight up. Read.
But do lie.
Uh-huh.
Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet.
So God said, I'm going to make them same people people that abuse you,
and to know that I have loved thee.
because they didn't know it. They don't know that God loves us. They can't tell. We down bad. Read.
Because thou have kept the word of my patience.
Come on.
I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation.
So God said, when we keep his word, meaning what? His commandments, then he will relieve us from these curses that we need. Let's go back. Deuteronomy 28, go to 32. I'm going to show y'all something. Check this out. What time we got?
141.
Check this out. Watch.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 32.
Come on.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Now, who that happened to? Right? Right? What's your last name? Keith. What's your last name? Paul.
I don't know my last name, but the last name they gave me is Johnson, though.
Johnson. Woo! Johnson. The Johnson plantation is the biggest plantation that ever lived. You know how many Johnsons I know that ain't related? That's crazy. That's crazy. Right? But we was given those names by the ones that had us as slaves. A lot of us don't like to pay attention to that, or we don't like to pay it no mind. But it's the truth. You ain't King Strong, right? Shane C. It's not named Shane Johnson. It's Shane C. It might even be Freddie Sean. But the last name is going to be from their people. You know what I'm saying? Akbar Khugmoog. You ain't going to hear Akbar Johnson unless it's one of us. Right? So, the reason why I say that is because we were the only people on this planet given to another people. As slaves, we were made slaves. That's not normal. Okay, how many of us know about the Holocaust? How many of us know about the Holocaust? You know about the Holocaust? Huh, bro? No? Who know about the Holocaust? Y'all know about the Holocaust? Let me ask you something. Do the Jewish people forget about the Holocaust? No. And if you say forget it, you are called what? Anti-Semitic. Right? But do they tell you to remember slavery? Or do they tell you to forget it? They say it was 100 years ago. Right? Not that long ago, brother. And then they had us as slaves for 400 years. The Holocaust lasted what? 6 years? And they say what? 6 million died? That's how many people died just off the transference from Africa to America alone. Hundreds of millions of us died. But they want you to forget. So God said, what? Read that again.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
So God said, one of the curses will be, all right, my bro. One of the curses will be that I will give you to another nation. Read.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
Meaning you ain't have no power. You cried when your kids were split from you. Read.
And there shall be no might in thy hand.
You ain't gonna have no might, no military might, no economic might, no might to get your children back. Even today, you whoop your kid, we whoop our kids. You whoop your kid too hard, you call CPS, they take him. Can you get them back? Nope. You ain't got no power. You got to go through litigation and all of this to get your children back. It's still the same to this day. Read.
The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up.
That applies to our Native American brothers. That applies to our Hispanic brothers. Like for instance today, America. America was originally the land of our Native American brothers, so-called. We call them Gad and Reuben. They had the land. But what the white man do? Came, slaughtered, destroyed all of them, and then made a holiday after it called Thanksgiving. And now we eat to the destruction of our own brothers due to ignorance, a lack of knowledge. You see what I'm saying? It ain't none of our fault, but now that the truth is coming out, it's our fault after the day when we find out. You see what I'm saying? Read.
And thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always.
So even after that, we always gonna be oppressed and crushed. You see what I'm saying? So all of our children and all of our kids that were killed, right, by the police, by these random white men, that was biblical prophecy.
Right.
Biblical prophecy. So understand, give me that Azazaiah real quick. Go ahead.
So that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see.
Hey, who know about what's his name? Martin. He got killed with the Skittles.
Mark Hart?
Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin. You remember Trayvon Martin, right? All right, so Trayvon Martin. Today, you know the gun that he was shot with got sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars? You know that? The Skittle bag, all that got sold. So they make light of our deaths. And when you see it, you get mad. You get upset. Like, damn. Becky go missing. Everybody phone ringing. Amber alert. Everybody phone ringing. Hundreds of black children, hundreds of black women go missing on a daily basis. Nobody cares. Doesn't that make you mad? Don't that make you mad? Read.
Verse 35. The Lord shall smite thee in the knees.
Go to verse 68. I'm going to go to the main part. Hey, bro, check this out real quick. I'm going to read this and I'm going to close out. I want y'all to understand. What I'm proving right now is that we are God's chosen people. And by the curses is the signs that show you. Every curse I read only applies to the black, Hispanic, and Native American men. It don't apply to nobody else. That's how we know we the Israelites. Now read verse 68. Watch this.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68.
Watch.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Okay, stop. So God said he would bring us into Egypt again. Do you know the story of Moses? Y'all know the story of Moses, right? Free, let my people go. He split the sea, all that. He said, let my people go. Let my people go from what? Slavery. Because the Israelites were slaves in Egypt, right? Under Pharaoh. So read that part one more time and then get Exodus. Just stop at Egypt.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68.
Come on.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So the Lord will bring us into Egypt again. How is that a curse? How is the Lord bringing us back into Egypt a curse? Bring you back to what? To a land of slavery. He said, y'all ain't have to read it, but we're going to read it though. Give me that in Exodus. Watch.
Exodus chapter 20.
Go ahead.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 2.
Watch.
I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Out of the land of Egypt, out of where?
Out of the house of bondage.
What did he call Egypt?
Out of the house of bondage.
What did he call Egypt? Bondage. What's bondage? What's another word for bondage? Slavery. I brought you out of the land of Egypt, which is also known as the house of slavery. Go back.
And Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68.
Watch.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Right? So the Lord bringing us back into slavery. That's a curse. But it's a difference. What's the difference?
With ships.
How would the Lord bring us back into slavery?
With ships.
How would God bring the blacks back into slavery?
With ships.
Y'all didn't know that the Atlantic slave trade was in the Bible. That's Bible prophecy. Us going into slavery on slave ships is in the Bible. That's how we know who we are. That's how we know we are that people. You see that? Look at this. Look at this. Bring it close. Bring it. We were brought from the west coast of Africa to America, to Cuba, to South America, to Europe, to Madagascar, to Asia. We were spread out everywhere by ship. No other, how many other people on this planet was brought into slavery on slave ships? You don't know because it doesn't exist. We the only ones. Read it again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Who that happened to? That's a curse. We don't keep God's commandments, so he brought us into slavery. That's called a nationwide ass whooping. That's what that's called. Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto
So
thee.
exactly how I said it, that's how it's going to happen. Read.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
Come on.
And there.
And where?
And there.
When you get off of them slave ships. Stop. When we got off the slave ships, what happened? Who can tell me? We was what? We was sold. Dang. Brother, you prophesying, you don't even know it. Bro said when we got off the slave ships, we were sold. Now let's read the Bible.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
We shall be what?
Sold unto your enemies.
God said that. Read.
For bondmen,
Slave men,
and bondwomen,
slave woman,
and no man shall buy you.
no man is going to free you from your captivity. We still in captivity to this day. Did we go back home? Do we know what language we spoke? Do we know what our holy days we kept? Do we know where we slept, how we did marry? Do we know any of that?
They restored a lot of that though.
You see what I'm saying?
Restored all of it.
And that's why we are the chosen children.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.